Hello, welcome to Switched On Gaming and welcome to Punched Plus. This episode is an extended playthrough of the digital board game Brass Birmingham. If you've seen the Punched for this game, you'll know a little bit more about it. If you haven't seen that, link in the description below just to give you an overview of what this game is all about. But this is just going to be, as I say, a little bit of an extended playthrough. I'm not going to play the whole game, I'm just going to show you a little bit more about it and how it plays. So the first thing we do, we're going to create a new game over here. We can put our name in. We can play it with 4 players. Game has online modes as well, and you've got various famous people from British history here, famous industry icons, so you can pick one of those. So we'll go, I don't know, doesn't really matter, Henry Bessemer, and you can change your icon color. We'll go with blue. You can set up who else you want in your game. We're going to play a 3-player game, so we've got Richard Arkwright, who's yellow on easy. George Stevenson, we're going to bump him up to medium just to get a bit of variety. And we're going to start our new game just here. So, as I say, I'm not going to explain the rules too much. If you want to know a little bit more about what this game is all about, then please go and check out Punched. That's the idea of this series. We're just going to dive straight in. So, I am going second, turn order over here. One of the mechanics that I didn't speak about in Punched is the turn order is determined by how much money you spend on your turn. In the actual board game, you put your coins or poker chips that you get in the deluxe edition on top of a little scoring icon next to your name, and that's all totaled up then added to the bank at the end. But yeah, turn order is whoever spent the least goes first on the next turn. So George Stevenson has been. He's spent 4 coins. It's probably, I missed his turn, but it's probably with 4 coins set up a canal link somewhere. Somewhere on the board. We have got a log here so we can see what he's done. Oh, he's developed his coal mine and ironworks. Now this is a good action to take early on in the game because here is the communal markets for iron and for coal. And here is the price to buy and sell each of these items. Now, at the start of the game, iron would have been filled up to, I think, at least here, maybe into the 1s as well. So if you go first, you're going to get an advantage of buying iron when it's really cheap. So it's a good idea to then develop your industries, which is this icon here. We have to discard a card to do it, so maybe we'll come back to actually doing that in a second. But I can show you the industries board here. This is what each player would have in the actual board game. Here are all your different industries. We've got breweries. We've got what they call processed goods, which are a bit disconcertingly vague. We've got cotton mills, pottery, ironworks and coal works. And basically by developing an industry, you're removing these chits from your board. And when you build these out on the board, you always take from the lowest level. So they kind of start from the bottom and work their way up. And you can see here, this one, we'll take a brewery, for example, costs 5 to build, 5 coins, 1 iron, will give you 4 victory points, and will bring you, increase you 4 spaces on the income tracker, which we'll have a look shortly. So if you remove that from the board, then the next one you could possibly build would be this one, which alright costs 7, but will give you 5 victory points and 5 financial income. So you can see it's worth trying to clear these out. Later on in the second game, the train phase, you can't even build these level 1 industries, and they even get removed from the board. So if you've built any level 1 industries out on the board, they actually get removed at the end of the first phase. So George has developed his industries, which is good. Now a good second turn, as you can see here, the market's quite open, is to build an ironworks, because if you build an ironworks and there's slots available in the iron market, you actually replenish it straight from your ironworks, and you get back the cost of what you've put back into the market. So if you fill, for example, when you build an ironworks, you get 4 lumps of iron, which would fill these spaces up. So I would get 2, 4, 5, 6 gold back. So I think a good second turn is to look at building an ironworks on the map. This is my hand of cards. Some have got locations on, so you can see Wolverhampton, Cannock, Dudley, Stoke-on-Trent and Leek. That means I can build any industry in those towns. These cards here that have just got symbols on, this is an ironworks, this is a coal work, this is a brewery. It means that I can build one of those types of industries as long as I am connected to the location by a network, so either by a canal or it's next to one of my other industries. So I want to build this ironworks. Now let's have a look. There's probably no real great place to build this. Actually, no, I don't want to do that, do I? Because I was still having the action. I want to do a build. So pressing build, it shows you here, thankfully and handily, what you can build and where with the hand of cards you've currently got. Now I want to build an ironworks, which kind of looks like this. These icons here, if I zoom in, some of the spaces have 2 icons, which means you can build either an ironworks or a brewery here, which is quite a snide move to block someone else from having options. I think actually I might have to have coal available to build an ironworks. Yeah, you need coal, and I've got no coal available at the moment because I've got no links on the board, so can't build an ironwork. So I think as coal will come from here, from Shrewsbury, due to this little coal mine icon here, I want to build here in Colenbrook. So I think what I might do is link Shrewsbury and Colenbrook with a canal link. So we're going to discard a card. Let's discard, sometimes it's good to discard a duplicate card. Let's just discard the brewery card for now, and we're going to put in a canal link linking Shrewsbury and Coalbrookdale, and that's my turnover. Generally on every turn players get 2 actions, except the very first turn where you only get 1 action. And look at that snidey move. That was a silly move by me. Didn't see that. By linking Shrewsbury to Coalbrookdale, obviously allowed coal to flow, and it allowed the swine, Sir Richard Arkwright, to build an ironworks there. So that didn't work out. That kind of backfired on me big time, because you can see Richard built a ironworks in the space and then immediately sold all 4 of his iron to the marketplace for a tidy profit. So that did not work out very well. So we're on the back foot now. Now we're into the after everybody's had their first action, the turn order has been redone, and I've got first turn because I only spent 3 coins building my canal link. So I now need to take an action, and as iron has been replenished and it's only cost 1 to buy, I think what I might do is develop some industries. I still need to discard a card. Our hand has been refilled. Looks like we've got a new card here, the coal card, but let's discard. It's quite good to keep an eye on this here. As I've built a link here as well, it might be an idea to also build some of these goods here. So I could build them here in Wolverhampton. Make a link here between Wolverhampton and Coalbrookdale, and then I've got a flow to market to sell my goods. So a couple of options. So I might look at first action. Gonna improve my industry here of manufactured goods. As you can see, it's got rid of that chit. So if I now build manufactured goods, the first one I'm available and allowed to build is this one, which will cost me 10, but it's worth 5 victory points instead of 3. So I think that's going to be my course of action. We're going to buy iron from the market. It's going to cost me 1. My second action, I'm going to build manufactured goods in Wolverhampton. I can do that because I've got the Wolverhampton card. It's going to cost, so now it's coming from my board that I just upgraded, so you can see why I did that now, because this is the first chit I've got available to spend to build here in Wolverhampton. It's going to cost me 10 and an iron, which I'm going to have to get again from the market at a cost of 1, but it's going to be worth 5 victory points. But also I'm going to be able to sell that to Shrewsbury. So we're going to spend the Wolverhampton card, we're going to build our industry there, and that's our turn over. We're going to buy the iron from there, and that's quite an expensive turn. That's cost us 12 gold. So at the moment we're going to be going last. Let's see, George Stevenson, just keep an eye really on this number here. He's upgrading some of his technologies as well. He's doing a similar sort of thing. Oh, and he's building in Coalbrookdale an ironworks, and he'll be selling 2 iron back to there. Oh, he's actually sold 3 because it cost him an iron to build it, and then he sold 3 back. And his second action was to build a canal link. So that's the end of the round. Reordering's done. Now I could be in a tricky spot here because somebody could beat me to the punch. So Arkwright builds a coal mine, and he'll sell that coal back to the marketplace. Gets flipped over, so it can't be used anymore for selling. His second action is going to build a canal link between Kidderminster and Dudley. Burning a card to do that. George Stevenson on his turn has taken a loan of 30 gold. And we'll have a look at the income track in a second to show you what happened there. And then he also sold his last bit of iron from Coalbrookdale, which flips the token over. As you can see, it's gone half red, half black now, which means it's kind of spent. It can't be used anymore for anything, but it will be scored at the end of the turn. So that's what the guy's done there. Let's have a look at the income track. Now, at the start of each turn, this is the money that you receive in income. See, it goes all the way up there to 30 gold. At the moment, Richard Arkwright is getting 4 gold per turn, and we'll explain what it is at the moment. Myself and the esteemed George Stevenson are getting no gold income per turn. Now, the reason Richard Arkwright is up here and getting 4 gold per turn is that he's sold goods to the market, which means he's now got sort of a marketplace. He's bringing in money from his goods, so each turn he is bringing in 4 gold. When you take a loan of 30 gold, you go down 3 steps on this board. Now, I would imagine from looking at this, and I can check the log, but I would imagine that George Stevenson sold goods as well, which bumped him up a little bit first, and then he took a loan and it dropped him down 3 spots. So he's back down here getting no income. But that's the income track, and it's good, obviously, to get up high on this, to get gold in each turn, because you need gold. Everybody needs gold, don't they? Because at the moment, I've got 2 gold. This indicator here shows that I'm getting no gold coming in per turn. And this marker here shows me how many points away I am from going up the next step on the income track. So you can see it's 10 of 10 at the moment. And I'm on the 10 spot here. So it goes 10, then 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then it increases up here, goes, you need 3 points to go up to the higher ones. And then I believe 4 as it goes up and up and up. So you'll see this number change. When it does change, I'll try and point it out. So my next action then is, thankfully, the one that I planned to do. I'm going to sell my market goods here, my manufactured goods, to Shrewsbury using this link. The other action you need when selling goods is to have beer available. Now, it's indicated by these little barrels on the board. You can build your own breweries that generate beer, but generally each market town will have 1 barrel of beer available to it. And there's some other towns up here as well. Each time you use a beer from a market town, you get an associated bonus, and each bonus is different. So if I use the beer from Warrington, for example, if I sold to Warrington and use that beer, I would get 5 gold coins. If I use the one in Nottingham, although Nottingham's not being used in this game, it's only in a 4-player game Nottingham get used, but there's 3 victory points. Down here in Oxford, the beer is to go up 2 spots on the income track. In Gloucester, you get a free technology upgrade, so you can just upgrade one of your technology tiles. And as we see over here in Shrewsbury, a beer gives me 4 victory points, which is pretty tasty. So my first action is going to be to sell my goods to Shrewsbury. Need to discard a card. Remember, if you watched Punched and got an overview of the rules, you need to burn a card for every action that you do. What one shall I use? That's quite a handy card because it's got 2 industries on it. Probably going to use, let's use Stoke-on-Trent. And we're going to sell our manufactured goods to Shrewsbury. We use the beer. We get 4 victory points. It flips over. And their income goes up. So you can see here, if I hover over the industry tile, there's a couple of things on here. Firstly, it pops up this little window and it says it's activated, and it's given me 5 victory points, 1 income point, and it tells you who owns it. And if you notice, I can't move my mouse because it will make the window disappear, but if you look at the top left of the window there, you've got kind of a little rail link. Actually on the chit here as well, there's a little rail link here Now these are important for scoring at the end of eras, because every link that you've created that's connected to one of these icons will score you a point. So Richard Arkwright, who owns this canal, will score 1 point for that link and 2 further points for these 2 links here, because these are all linked by his canal. Now this is my canal here that I built, and I've got 2 links here to Shrewsbury, so I will score 2 points for that, and 2 points here for Coalbrookdale, so I will get 4 points. So those are good things to look out for on the board as well. You'll see those little icons popping up. You see here this coal mine has got 2 icons. That's worth 2 points there when you connect to it. So that was my first action. My second action is probably going to be good to build a brewery if I can. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to build. Let's see what's available. Can't build anywhere at all. Probably got no available cards. So with iron being pretty low, I think what I'm going to do, I'm either going to develop or I'm going to take a loan. There's not much else I can do. Developing is quite tempting while the iron is so low. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to get rid of... trying to look for the locations. Going to get rid of the Worcester card. And I'm quite interested in building an iron mine. They're quite good. Obviously, because you can resell the iron. Also a brewery as well. As beer runs low, people can't sell goods unless they've got beer on the board. And owning a brewery will get you good points as well. So I could burn that one and build a better brewery. So it's between the brewery and the iron mine. I think I'm going to get rid of my brewery cards. It's going to cost me 2 iron because there was 2 chits there. But it's only going to cost me 2 gold in iron. I've spent a total of 2 gold on my turn. George Stevenson spent 17. Richard Arkwright spent 8. Which means I get to go first on the next turn. And there we go. Round 4 of 9. And indeed, I do get to go first. So, tempted to build that brewery. Still can't build anywhere because I haven't got the right cards, which is a absolute crying shame. So I might start to put some wheels in motion. I haven't got enough money. I'm going to have to take a loan. That's going to have to be my action because I've only got 1 gold. I get 1 gold every turn, but it's not going to be enough to let me, you can't run a business with no money. So I'm going to take a loan from the bank. Still need to discard a card. Don't really want to discard Birmingham because that is pretty much a nice area to build stuff in. Gonna get rid of... I've got 2 cards the same there, so I'm gonna get rid of that. I go down 3 spots on the income track, so which means now my projected income, if I accept this loan of 30, I will be losing 2 gold every turn, which again isn't ideal, but the idea is to use this 30 to build up industry, to sell some stuff, and to get you back up on the income track. So that was my first action. Now I really need to use that money the best I can. Probably gonna have to build a rail link. Let's get rid of a card. Where's leak? Let's get rid of leak. And we can keep extending on our network here and start trying to connect some of these towns up. See, Dudley's only got 1 way that it can get goods that way. Let's start spreading this way. So build a canal. We're linking this across here to Walsall. Might allow somebody to get into Birmingham and start building some industry up. That's a risk we'll have to take. Keeping an eye on the other players' spending. Remembering we're losing 2 gold at the end of this turn, so we don't want to be in negative equity for too long because we will burn through our money without doing much. But we really need a brewery card. We've got a brewery card. And I think it'd be ideal to build it here because this location is starting to get a lot of good links. So let's build our brewery over here in Walsall. We've got our sort of developed brewery, so it's costs a little bit more but worth more points. We're going to build that, and we could spend our Walsall card actually, which wouldn't be a bad idea. You can, in the first phase of the game, in the canal phase, you can only build one industry in each location. In the train phase, in the next phase, you can build more than one, but for now we can only build one, so we might as well use our Walsall card and keep our brewery card to spend elsewhere to build another brewery. So we're going to use the Walsall card, stick a brewery in now. We're going to buy an iron. Now, whenever anybody wants to sell any goods, they're probably going to come to, or they may need to come to us to buy our beer, which will flip our token over and score us points. But at least we've got a beer on the board. Anyone can use that. That isn't just for me. But obviously, if somebody else does use it, I get a benefit from it. Now, I've spent 9 on this turn. What else can I do? I can build another industry. I could get into Birmingham, which is quite tasty. I could build this ironworks, which would replenish the iron market, which isn't at its best. You know, it could be up here and we could make a lot of money. But really, I want to start selling. I need to start getting up my income track. So probably building an iron. Now, if I can sell all the iron, I'll go up 3 spaces. But I'm not going to be able to do that this turn. I can only refill 3 of the spaces, so I'm not going to completely have spent that. But then also, I don't want somebody else to jump in, build an iron mine, and to get the benefit of that, and puts me even further behind. So I think I'm going to have to take the punt. Build an ironworks. It's going to cost me a coal, which is only going to be 1. We're going to use our Birmingham card to do that. We're going to build an ironworks, get 4 iron. We're going to buy a coal from the coal mine, cost of 1 gold. But we're going to replenish the iron market and make 4 gold back. Really, once we get rid of this iron on our card, we will go up 3 spaces on the income track, and we will go back to basically we'll be back at 0, but at least we won't be losing money each turn, and we've still got 15 gold left. So bit of a heavy turn that spent 15, but that is our turn. We've built 2 industries, a brewery and an ironworks, which are hopefully going to benefit us in future turns. As soon as somebody needs to sell something, hopefully they will use my beer. Hoping somebody uses an iron as well. So George Stevenson has just sold something to Oxford. Used the beer from Oxford there, but you know, they're only finite, those marketplace beers, so they will run out, and we will need to use beers from the board. So Richard Arkwright's taken a loan, so he's dropped down his income to +1. And my beer indeed was used by George Stevenson. And looks like my iron was used as well. So that's quite a good turn for us. You can see now I've gone up to +3 income because the benefit of the brewery, I went up 5 spaces on the income track. And the ironworks went up 3 spaces. So I went up 8 points on the income track. And I was down here, so I went up 8 points. Which puts me up on 15, doesn't it? So yeah, I'm up in this space at the moment. So you can see I was down here on 7 points on the income track. I just made 8 income points. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's put me up here in this level, which means I'm now gaining +3 every turn. So that's really tasty. And that all of that, taking a loan and building these industries, has kind of worked out well for me so far. So it's my turn. Richard Arkwright spent 10. George Stevenson's only spent 1. So I need to spend less than 10 ideally to take second spot, which would be nice. Choices. Now, I appreciate as I've been playing through this, hopefully I've been trying to explain things the best I can. I appreciate it's a kind of a complex game. There's lots of moving pieces, quite literally. But hopefully you can kind of get an idea of the flow and also the quality of the digital port. It just looks really nice. I love the look of this. And I think everything about it is just great. The music, the way everything's laid out is really good. There's some bad examples that I'll be showing you in future episodes of Punched. Of bad digital conversions, but this one is one of the best ones. So what can we do? We'll have a couple of more turns and then call it a day. 13 money left. We can build. Don't really want to build an iron or coal works because I'm not going to make a lot of money from that. Can I get connected anywhere? I've only really got, looks like I've only really got the option of iron and coal to build, which isn't particularly great. I mean, coal would be quite useful as it's would net me 4, and it's also very useful for players to use to sort of connect to if they can't connect to one of the outer market towns that always have a coal mine on them. So perhaps building a coal mine wouldn't be the worst idea. Now, can I upgrade my coal mine? I probably can. So let's do that as our 2 actions. Let's upgrade our, or develop our coal mines. And let's do that by selling or burning one of our iron cards. And we're going to get rid of that coal mine. We're only going to do 1. We could do 2. That'll cost us 2. I'm going to do that. We're going to do both. It's cost us 3 to buy the 2 chunks of iron. But then we're going to build an upgraded coal mine. Now, where is the best place to put it? I think I'm going to put it up here. Although this has got good links. You know, the link can be traced back here to Shrewsbury. So it's not massively important to have it there. I kind of wish that there was a rule in the game that it cost you a certain number of gold for each link, maybe, to get the coal to you. So, you know, that could cost you 3 gold to get you the coal there, where it would only cost 1 there, for example. That could be quite a nice little wrinkle. We're going to go Cannock. I'm going to build the coal mine in Cannock. It's the upgraded one, the double upgraded one, in fact. And we're going to burn one of our duplicate Cannock cards, which is rather handy. 3 coal, replenish the coal marketplace. Gets us 4 gold. Gets us 7 points on the income track. Creates a link, so we're now up to plus 7 gold a turn. And that whole turn cost us 10 gold, which puts us level with Richard Arkwright. It means we'll be going last. A loan there for George Stevenson. Puts him down on the income track. Kind of feels like we're in a reasonably tidy position at the moment. I think. We're getting plenty of income. We've already got some victory points. We've got a little bit of money. I think we need to build more rail links. I think our next courses of action will be building some rail links up. Look at that iron marketplace now. We could build an ironworks. It cost us 3 gold. Even if we built 2 links, it's only going to be 6 gold, and we're going to get first turn next turn. But I think we need some more links on the board. This one here is good, isn't it? Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4 points to build there if we can. Let's have a look. We can't build in Colebrook Delt. So I think we're going to go here and pick up 4 link points there. And I think we're going to build another rail link, or another canal link, sorry. Let's burn another Cannock card, because we can't build there anymore. Just trying to see where the best is. Again, they've got another 4 here if we go here as well. So that, in terms of victory points, is going to net us a lot of victory points at the end of canal phase. And we only spent 6 gold, which is going to put us in first place. Well, I think we're just going to play to the end of the canal phase here, just to show you how scoring works. So not much longer to go. 2 more rounds. What are we going to do next? We've got 15 gold. See if we can... Be nice to build this cotton mill and sell it into Gloucester. So I think, again, let's have a look, see if we can develop the cotton mill. Let's get rid of an ironworks card. And the only problem with that is it's going to cost us iron, which at the moment is 3. Let's just do 1, because that's going to cost 3 iron to buy that. Otherwise it would cost us 6 to get 2 lumps. And then second action, we are going to build that advanced cotton mill in Worcester. And then we'll have the intention of selling that into Gloucester on our last turn. So we'll need a rail link into Gloucester. Looks like there's beer available in Gloucester as well, as long as nobody else uses it. Oh, there's a brewery just been built in Stafford as well, so we should be okay. And one in Stone, so we should be fine. George Stevenson's literally just used it. So end of the round. And we're going to start the last round of this phase in second spot. Wow, what a sale that was of iron. That must have been an advanced ironworks level 3. So we want to build links to Gloucester. And we will use our Dudley card to build a link into Gloucester with the intention of selling our cotton into Gloucester. We use the Gloucester beer, which means we get a free development. That light bulb in Gloucester means we get a free development. So probably be a good idea to get rid of this cotton mill, because in the second phase you can only build anything with level 2 upwards. So all these level 1 buildings, you see with the little 1 underneath, you won't be able to build. So it'd probably be a good idea to get rid of this level 1 cotton mill. And we sell that into Gloucester. Up 5 on the income track, 5 victory points and another rail link. And that is the end of the canal phase. So what happens now is when everybody's had their turn, all of the links will be scored. All of the rail links using those little icons that I told you about. And they'll be taken off the board. All the canals, because we'll be moving into building railways. All of the victory points on these flip tiles will be counted and removed off the board. And then any level 1 industries that are remaining on the board will also be taken off of the board. So let's just see at the end of the canal phase how the scores sit. And then I think we'll call this one a day. Hope you've enjoyed the video, by the way. Hope you have a little bit of an understanding now of how Brass Birmingham works. I was quite confident, wasn't I? I was going to score well. But I've ended up only scoring 41. Who's that? Richard Arkwright, 52. George Stevenson, 51. And I'm lagging behind a little bit there on 41. But, you know, there is another whole phase to come. You basically reshuffle the deck of cards, deal out everybody 8 cards again, and then you carry on. The train links cost a little bit more to build. As I said earlier, you can now build more than 1 industry in each town, and you can only build level 2 industries upwards, but basically the rest of the game pretty much remains the same. And at the end of the train phase, all the points are scored again and added onto these, and whoever's got the most points is the winner. That has been Brass Birmingham. Hope you've enjoyed this extended playthrough. If you've got any questions, please let me know below. As I say, this game is available in early access on Steam, but it's very stable from what I've played. Played quite a few rounds of this over the last week or so. Really, really enjoy it. It's a great game, and I'd love to have the physical game. But I just can't justify buying board games, really, when I I don't have anybody to play with. So hope you enjoyed it. As I say, please give me a thumbs up if you did, and subscribe if you're new. And I will see you on the next episode of Punched next week. Cheers, everyone. Bye bye.